ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। अभ्रमं भंगरहितम् अजडं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतुलं भजे तापत्रयापहम्। चित्रैः पदैश्च गम्भीरैः वाक्यैर्मानैः अखण्डितैः गुरुभावं व्यञ्जयन्ती भाति श्रीजयतीर्थवाक्। अर्थकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यर्थगजकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरुर्भूयात् अस्मत् इष्टार्थसिद्धये। जयति श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ समदन गोपालः वक्ष्यामि यस्य कृपया प्रमेय रत्नावलिं सूक्ष्मं भक्त्या भासेनापि तोषं ददाने धर्माध्यक्षे विश्वनिस्तारे नाम्नि नित्यानंदद्वैत चैतन्य रूपे तत्वे तस्मिन् नित्यम् आस्तां रतिर्नः। आनंद तीर्थ नाम सुखमय धाम यतिर्जीयात् संसारार्णवतारिणीं यम इह जनाः कीर्तयन्ति बुधाः भवति विचिन्त्या विदुषां निरवकरा गुरु परंपरां नित्यम् एकांतित्वं सीदयति ययोदयति येन हरितोषः। Okay. So, what were the points we discussed in our previous session? It was about the topic of Amnaya Ekavedyo Hari, correct? Yes. Actually, yesterday I was not able to take class because I was in a seminar in Mysore. They had organized a seminar on Madhva and Chaitanya schools of thought. And in that seminar, they had given different people different topics to speak. And I took the topic of synthesis between Dvaita and Achintya Bheda. So that was my topic. And because of that, I was thinking that evening I will get some time to take class, but somehow it did not happen. So anyway, the seminar was quite well received. The paper was also well received by even Dvaita school. They appreciated that there is sapanvaya, there is common thought process possible between the two schools. So some success was there. So we will begin with where we left. We were discussing about the Shastras. The Supreme Lord is known only through the Shastras. And if he is Nirguna, how can he be known through the Shastras, through the Vedas? So it is like Mount Meru. You show Mount Meru, see, that is a mountain. So ultimately through Jnana, we will get attachment to the Lord. So that Jnana is possible only through Shastras. Now, one more thing that had come up was Vedas are categorized into two parts. What are the two parts? Anybody remembers? Is my voice clear?
Dharmakanda and Karmakanda
And
Upasana Kanda.
Actually, the words Baldev Vidyabhushan used are Sakshat and Parampara. Sakshat is for literal understanding through the Upanishads, and Parampara is through the ritualistic way of understanding or the mediated way of understanding using the Samhita and Brahmana and other sections of the Vedas. where rituals are performed, and that way gradually they get attachment to the Lord. So we understood who are the patras, who are the eligible people for complete Jnana Marga. Who are the eligible people as per what we concluded? One who need not
One who has
perform.
taken sannyas. One who has
Yes,
taken sannyas.
yes. And the pure devotee, what is his status?
He should act as per his varna. His varnashrama.
Hmm. Anybody else would like to try? Is the pure devotee obliged to perform prescribed duties?
He's not
Not
obliged to.
obliged, Prabhu. Not obliged, but he has
Just
to.
no. Mataji is
Sorry,
answer.
I could not mention.
Yeah, Prabhu, Mataji is answer. Yes, Mataji.
I was saying the same, that he is not obliged to, but he should do it.
Hmm. Yeah, correct. So there is no reason to do it. At the same time, there is no reason to leave it also. But for the betterment of the society, to set a role model, he has to perform his prescribed duty. Only when he officially takes to the renounced order of life, that is when this leaving of karmas comes into picture. So this has to be carefully understood. Otherwise, sometimes we are lazy in performing our prescribed duties, our ancestral karmas and our rituals and other things. We are lazy in performing, and we give the reason of detachment or spirituality for doing that. So that should be avoided. So that is why these things are there. Okay. Now there was one point which I had not taken, which I would like to address now. You see, uh, just a minute, where is that section? Just a minute. Ah, okay. Now, some people say, argue very intelligently. They say Brahman doesn't have any qualities, correct? It is called Nirguna. That is very clear that absolute truth is called Nirguna. It is explicitly mentioned in the Shruti mantras. So Brahman doesn't have any qualities. Then all the qualities that are described, they are actually not attributed to Brahman. How they will explain, I will tell you. For example, you see a person called Devadatta. You see him in Kashi. And then after 20, 30 years, you again see him in Kanchi. So then, will you not say, oh, he's the same Devadatta who has come here? He's grown so big. So he's the same person. Now, the person remains the same, just that the description about him changes. Oh, he's grown up, he has got a mustache, he has got long hair, he was a small boy running around, now he's a grown up man. All these descriptions, they are just external, whereas the person himself doesn't change, he remains the same. Now, this is called Jahad Ajahal Lakshanam. What is it called? Note down the terminology. Jahad Ajahat Lakshanam. Okay, so the person himself doesn't, means he is not touched by it, just that his descriptions, that earlier he was a small boy, he was too naughty, he was not eating, he was running, now he's grown up, he has got mustache, he's become very peaceful, he walks nicely, he's handsome. So many of the descriptions are just they are the words, that's all. So similarly, Brahman is Nirgun. He has no qualities. Now, all these descriptions that we have heard till now, that he's having so many avatars, he's having so many rupas, he's having so many leelas, they are just the sentence formation or description by words of the absolute truth, whereas absolute truth can never be described. So, just for our clarity, we are using words to describe them, whereas in reality, the absolute truth cannot be described. Okay, so that is the Purva Paksha that they are keeping. Have everyone understood this Purva Paksha, what they are arguing, or I can explain it more?
So this is the Purva Paksha.
Yes, this is the Purva Paksha argument. So
What
all
is
the
the
words of the Vedas, all the descriptions are just for namesake. Actually, Brahman can never be described. Okay. So you are less intelligent, you are still not knowledgeable, we are still in a lower situation. That is why you need to read the Vedas to understand. Need to read those sections where the different avatars are given, the different varieties are given, the different dhammas are given, all those things are given. Till now, we give so many pramanas to establish. All those are needed for us who are still on lower platform. Once you reach the transcendental platform and understand Brahman is Nirguna, then these things are not required. Just like Devadatta, the person remains the same, but the descriptions are just names which we are speaking about. So that is the argument. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. If nobody has doubt about it, then I will go ahead to see what Baldev Vidyabhushan says. See, first thing is we have to accept everything from Shastra. Epistemology is very clear. Our acharyas or any Vedic system, first they establish epistemology or Pramana Shastra. Pramana Shastra means how to get this knowledge. Then we will get the knowledge. Means now in science, the modern science, what's happening is you just go to the school, they say this is proof, this is proof, this is proof. But how to know the proof? What is classified as proof? What is not classified as proof? First, this science has to be taught. That is never taught in our schools. But traditionally, the Vedic system was a very solid system. First, they will explain about how to prove things. What is accepted as a proof, what is not accepted as proof. The whole Pramana Shastra or epistemology is built. And then the actual case begins. The actual case of what is to be proved how. So now, at this point of time, we should be very clear that Shruti Shastras are the ultimate Pramana. So anything that comes through the Shastras, it is Swata Pramana. So what does Shastra says? Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti. So the spiritual nature which all the Vedas describe, that means that Vedas are powerful enough to describe the spiritual nature. What you call Nirguna, Vedas are powerful enough to describe that. It is explicitly stated here. Okay, so similarly in Bhagavad Gita, Smriti Pramana, Bhagavad Gita says, Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda vedeha chaham. Through all the Vedas, I am to be known. Means by the detailed study of Vedas, ultimately you will understand the absolute truth. You will understand Parabrahman. So the Shastras are giving very clear statements that Parabrahman can be known through Shastra. Okay. Then now, whatever logic you put, first you have to counter this Shruti Vakya because Tarka Pratishta Shrutiyo Vibhinno. Tarka is not the ultimate from Naisha Tarkena Matirapaniya. You cannot establish things just by logic. Ultimately, Shruti should be the Pramana. And Shruti here is explicitly saying that the Supreme Lord can be known through the Vedas. Vedas, he has empowered them and made them so powerful that they can help know him. Okay. So, I mean, Vedas are aporishya, but they are powerful enough to make us understand the Supreme Lord. That is the point here. Okay. Now, the argument of the Purva Paksha is much more deep, actually. What the argument is, it is not possible to directly explain Brahman. Brahman is Nirguna. Because it is Nirguna, it cannot be explained directly. And because it cannot be explained directly, you have to explain indirectly. When something cannot be explained directly, you have to give some example, you have to elaborate it, you have to explain it indirectly in a roundabout way. Because Brahman is not directly describable, we are using these words of the Shrutis to indirectly explain. So that is what they are saying. Now, here the problem is that, so ultimately we have to reject all these things which are Shruti. because if we really want to know the nature of Brahman, it comes on the rejection of the Shruti Vakyas. So that is the first question. So Shruti is our ultimate Pramana. It is accepted as Swata Pramana. Is it that to know Brahman, rejection of Shruti is the option? That no schools agree. No Vedic Darshana except for Charvaka agree that Shastra should be rejected. There are various darshanas in Vedic school of thought. One is Charvaka Darshana, which is completely atheistic. So they reject the Shastra as a Pramana. For them, Pratyaksha is the only Pramana. So that is why the Nayayikas joke that Charvaka's wife is pregnant, and does he not doubt it because there is no Pratyaksha Pramana. So like that, they joke with him. So Pratyaksha is Charvak's ideology. Then there are other schools which have Anumana as a Pramana. Shruti Shabda. For Nayayikas, it is Shabda, but all Shabda are Paurushya. There is no Apaurushya according to them. For the Mimamsakas, they do agree with Apaurushya. They say Vedas are Apaurushya. They are not manufactured by anyone. Vedanta gives the ultimate clarity that they accept Paurushya and Apaurushya. Apaurushya is the topmost. So that is their stand. Now, at least the Vedantin should not say that Shruti is not a Pramana. So any Advaiti, non-Advaiti, Vishishta Advaiti, Dvaiti, every Vedanta follower must accept Shastra as a Pramana. So when Shastra speaks about a personal Lord, you cannot say that that Shastra is not applicable. Whatever logic, you cannot use logic to say. So here there is an accusation on the Mayavadis that they are rejecting certain Shastras. Now, what is to be learned from this? See, there is some very important point to be learned from this. Many a times, we have attachment towards one stand. We have attachment towards one position. Why we have attachment towards one position? There may be many reasons. Because I am learning it from my family tradition, or I am since childhood seeing it, or my friend accepts it, my leader accepts it, my Guru Maharaj accepts it, some there is some people of my language accept it. So there will be different positions, and we might be attached to these some of these positions. So should there be worship of demigods? Should there be not worship of demigods? Should there be study of Vedas? Should there be not study of Vedas? Then should initiated second initiated devotees only perform deity worship, or should anyone perform deity worship? There are so many points of contention and debate, and in all these debates it can happen that we can be attached to one particular argument or one particular paksha. Now, many a times, our pramanas are driven by our attachment to Paksha. That is not the right approach. The right approach is that we should be neutral and we should be willing to accept Shastra as the ultimate pramana and nothing else. Here, what they are doing is, because they are attached to Mayavadi philosophy, they are using their logic to drive it in a particular direction. But the problem is that logic is making them reject certain sections of Shastras. So sometimes it happens that my attachment towards a particular Paksha can make me reject some Shastras. So it may be for any reason. It may be for pure devotion. We may say for pure devotion, Prabhu, we are doing it. So these Shastras are obstacle for pure devotion. No, no. Shastras can never be an obstacle for pure devotion. This is a very point we have to be grounded in. Shastras can never be obstacle for pure devotion. Just that we have to clearly understand the real purport of the Shastra. For that, commentaries are needed. Commentaries of Acharyas are needed. The spiritual master is needed to explain it. All those things, Guru, Sadhu, and are required to support the Shastras. Even tradition is required. So many things are required to support Shastras because of this reason that we may not understand it. But Shastra in itself can never be an obstacle for pure devotion. So if one has to say that I don't accept these Shastras, then he was on a slippery slope. So we have to be very careful. Okay. So coming back to this point. Okay, just a minute. Silence the mobile. Sorry. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, so coming back to this point of Jahad Ajhal Lakshan, here the question is, if words cannot describe the absolute truth, what is the contention here? It is nirguna. So direct words cannot describe the absolute truth. So we are explaining in the indirect way, correct? So the logic that is given here is that if that is called Gauna Vritti and Lakshana Vritti, Moola Vritti and Lakshana Vritti, it's called. Okay. So Lakshana Vritti is secondary interpretation, Moola Vritti is the original interpretation. So the question is, if the original interpretation is not giving the understanding, how can secondary interpretation give the understanding? So secondary interpretation, is it meant to support and better understand the first one, or is it meant to oppose one? Suppose I explain you one thing. Prabhuji, nothing is understandable. Then I give some example. You see the crow, you see the moon, you see the light, you see the sun. All I give 100 examples and explain the point. Then, oh, it's better understood. So was my example meant to explain the point better, or was it meant to reject the point?
Explain for me.
So with that indirect method, am I making the direct method more rich or more poor?
More rich.
Do you all others agree with this?
What do you exactly mean by indirect method? I didn't understand.
Sorry?
Method means, what do you mean exactly by that?
Yeah, I will explain it to you. You see, this thing only is indirect, but anyway, I'll explain it to you that uh, the other day I was telling my children a story that there is a Bhakti San sister told this. There was an old widow, and there was a widow, and she had a young son, and she put a tutor for him, and that tutor started teaching. A few days he taught for a few years, and after that, one day she suddenly entered the classroom and she saw he is teaching. Let there be a triangle ABC, and in that AB is this much, BC is this much. He was explaining. She thought that he is still teaching ABCD, the alphabets, and she shouted at him, "You are not needed anymore because you are just teaching alphabets after so many years of my spending money." So Bhakti San Thakur says that there are many people like that who don't have understanding of the tattva, who don't have an understanding of absolute truth, but they claim to be authorities and decision makers in society. So now the original point was there are many people who are they are illiterate in the matters of philosophy. They don't have knowledge of Shastra, but they stand in a position where they take decisions about God and philosophy and guiding people and all those things. They take such positions. So to explain this point, I gave this roundabout example. Is this clear, Mataji, now?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now that example has enriched my understanding of the original. So similarly, the understanding of the varieties of God or his dhamma, his abode, and all these things, even if they are considered indirect, they are going to enrich the meaning of Nirguna Brahman, absolute truth. They are going to enrich the understanding. They are not going to reduce the understanding of him. So that is the exact logical point which Baldev Vidyabhushan is capturing, that by indirect only we are not understanding. By direct only we are not understanding. How can we understand through indirect? So indirect is just going to enrich the understanding of the direct. So that is why this argument of Jahad Ajhal Lakshana, that some Shastras are just for some reason not to be acceptable, that is not to be. We don't accept that stand. So this was the point, and with this point we conclude the second session. The second session is the second Prameya, that is Amnaya Ekavedyaha Harihi. So through all the Shastras, it is the Supreme Lord Hari who is known. Okay, now please let me know if there are any questions on this topic before we go to the third Prameya. Yes, Sudhanshu bro.
Hare Krishna Pradhan.
Yes.
So I have one question and one clarification.
Uh,
One is that sometime it is quoted that
uh,
Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakta.
yes, correct.
So by that, uh, uh, matlab it says that Durlabha means here absolutely Durlabh or it is relatively Durlabh.
So, Vedeshu Durlabham means that even in Vedas, you have to search a lot to understand the Lord. It's not easily available because Vedas speak about Karma Marga, Vedas speak about Jnana Marga, Yoga Marga. Finally, when it comes to Adhyatma or Bhakti, that is when you will get the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. So, there also it's rare. But that doesn't mean that Vedas are not the tool to understand because it's very clearly said, Ikshatehe na ashabdam. You cannot achieve the Lord without the sound vibrations. So that is why the sound vibrations or Shastra Pramana is mandatory to know them.
And one
Is
more
that
clarification too. Like, yes,
yes?
clear. Uh, this when we say that this actually I studied myself this Siddhant Ratnam. So in that this same topic I think Baldev just want to say regarding this that
Sorry, can you explain it better? Can you your voice is not so clear. Can you tell again?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, now it is better. Please tell.
Oh, okay. So about this regarding taking Gaun Vritti and rejecting Mukhya Vritti or
Uh-huh.
taking Lakshana or rejecting Abhida. So
Hmm.
what I have concept that if something doesn't have any direct meaning, then it can't have indirect meaning.
Hmm.
Like, matlab, like when we say Ganga Yam Ghosha,
Hmm.
this is generally it is stored in this way. So when
Yes.
we say Ganga Yam Ghosha, so we take first we take direct meaning, and
Hmm.
since it doesn't give proper understanding because there cannot be any Ghosha on in the Ganga, so then we take Lakshana and we take it as a nearby place.
Hmm.
So then it must have such meaning of in the first we take. So each of it doesn't have any direct meaning, any word. It cannot have that indirect meaning. What I have to, I used to understand it in this way. Prabhu. And
Hmm.
today you also added that it helps. So is this understanding correct, Prabhu?
No, even on Ganga and Gosha, little bit clarification is needed. Even on Ganga and Gosha means they say Ganga is on the river. The literal meaning is sorry, the house is on river Ganga. Now, how can house be on Ganga? It's not possible. There is water everywhere. So it is. It means it is on the banks of Ganga. Gangayam Gosha, the house is on the banks of Ganga. So that clarification means we don't get it through the direct words. Now here also we are not rejecting Gangayam Gosha. We are trying to explain it better that no, it means the banks. We are not actually rejecting the whole thing. We are saying that you did not understand it better when you said Gangayam Gosha. It means it's a bank. So that same way, when something is there, Nirguna Brahman, Satya Jnanam Anantam Brahman, or Soham, or Tattvamasi, there are so many Mahavakyas, there are so many such Vakyas in the Upanishads. You did not actually understand it. That has to be understood in the way of understanding Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakaya. Two birds are sitting on a tree. So, similarly, God and soul are separately sitting. That way, you have to understand this point. So, it is explaining the same concept better. So, that is the idea.
That understood, Prabhu. But point is that we can because this point is that we don't take direct meaning and
Yes.
we take indirect meaning because direct meaning anything direct cannot give quality to Brahman. So we indicate that towards Brahman through that words. So point is that if something any word is there and it doesn't have any meaning, first direct meaning, then how because anything is first for that meaning, then when we don't understand, then we go for indirect. So if something at all doesn't have any direct meaning, then how we can go for indirect? It will not have any indirect meaning also. That too.
Correct.
So in
Yes.
that society, to understand that
Correct. That is the right way of understanding. Yes. Okay. Anybody else has any question on this section before we begin Satyam Jagat? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So, on the topic of the Vedas, so if we see on a very, like we had discussed on it, that all the devtas who are glorified in the Vedas ultimately point to Bhagwan only. But then we also have a question, like if we read the Vedas in the detail, then Varuna and Indra Devata are extensively glorified. Then also in the Atharva Veda, there are some tantras and mantras which are used for destroying the enemies, and there are amulets which we have to wear. So this all seems very we don't understand then what should be derived from this. So
No, it is based on the attitude of the performer, the Yajamana. If the attitude of the performer is Kamya Karma, fruitive desires, then the whole activity itself becomes Kamya. If the attitude of the performer is that he understands the original Varuna is Vishnu, the original Indra is Vishnu, and with that attitude, if he's with that knowledge he's performing, then the same performance becomes pure devotion.
and also, why are the Vedas are so yajna centric?
See, Vedas are Aparushya, and because they are Aparushya, they have a broad audience to take care. They have to take care kalpantara. In different kalpas, they have to render service. In different lifetimes of Brahma, they have to render service. So in different yugas, they have to render service. And everywhere the situations are different. Despite the situations are different, these Vedas cannot change. They have to render service. So anyway, for human society, yajna is most important. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu iti. If you want to lead a sinless life, then yajna must be there as a part of our life. Without yajna, there can be no question of leading sinless life, because even if you grow food, there will be some worms who will be killed. Even if you cook food, there will be something that will be killed. There will be some damage that will be done, some violence that will be done. So the only way to purify it is through yajna, offering to Vishnu. So that is why the Vedas especially emphasize it that everything should be offered to Vishnu, and that is why they give so much stress to yajnas.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
But there is also Upanishad section which is transcending, so which is on the Jnana Marga. One who comes there, he did not perform the Karma Marga.
Yes.
Mohit Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. I have a question regarding this discussion only. So basically, like you said that yajna is mandatory. We must do yajna. But if we see, we don't get a proper Brahman, then proper environment, proper resources to do yajna. So can we like do like this? Like yajna basically means offering towards to Bhagwan, right? So whatever we are doing, like which is directly related to the bhakti, or like for example cooking food or anything. So that thing or that actions are also included in the yajna if we have that attitude, or is it like that we have to perform some yajna which is described in the Vedas and Shastra?
Yeah. So one thing is that definitely bhakti is independent of all situations. So if you are having devotion, then whatever be the circumstance, you can offer to Vishnu, and that becomes yajna. Okay, so when the circumstances are there where there are no proper brahmanas, there are no proper things for performing yajnas, there are no mantrikas, there are no people who say mantras and all. Yes, actually speaking, whatever we have, this gas cylinder and all, the food cooked out of that cannot be offered in yajna. So they would cook on firewood traditionally. So definitely a lot of these things are unofferable to the Lord. So definitely, and in considering that, in absence of such good quality of things, so when we offer to the Lord and chant the holy names, that's the yoga dharma. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and offering to the Lord, definitely the Lord will accept, no doubt about that. However, the point to emphasize is that what devotion you have, the masses may not have. So eventually it is necessary to establish a society on yajna cycle. Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartayati hai. Eventually, in future, we should establish a society which is centered around yajnas, where even a farmer, whatever he grows, that will eventually go to yajna. He will not have devotion so much. He may not. There is no badhyata. Anybody can have devotion, but he may not have that devotion. But still, if he has the thing that first thing should go to temple, then it's the responsibility of temple to do yajna for that. So that cycle of yajna has to be established in every generation. Then the society in a mass scale can live a sinless life. For years together, if we just continue arguing that no, there are no good brahmanas, so we are not doing, why don't we become that good brahmanas? So that is also essential.
Yes, got it. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So it is not directly related to topic, but since the topic of yajna came, so I want to understand too, if you can explain. In Bhagavad Gita, in this yajna cycle, when Krishna says yajna karma samudbhava, so what is right understanding? Because generally we say when we do activities and offer to Lord, then it becomes yajna. Simple understanding. And then further in fourth chapter also, when Krishna discuss so many type of yajna. So in that only what we understand, then only one is dravya yajna, but there are so many yajnas, 14, I think 14, 15 types of yajnas have been described. So when we say yajna, then does it mean dravya yajna in case of Vedas? And what is the right understanding of yajna karma samudbhava?
Okay, I will, since it is something related separate from the topic, I will explain it to you at the end of the section. At the end of the class, I will explain.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay.
So we will begin with the next Prameya, Vishwasya Satyatvam, Satyam Jagat. Now, one of the 9 tenets of Madhva philosophy is Satyam Jagat, which is taken up by Baldev Vidyabhushana. Now, why this point comes up at all? Because there is somebody who is telling that Jagat is not Satyam. That is why this point has come up. Now, what is the significance of this at all? Okay, what will one gain if he tells that Jagat is Satya? What will one gain if he tells that Jagat is not Satya? Have we thought about this anytime? How does it matter for us? Yeah, I would want all of you to contribute to this. What do you think? Why this topic has even come up? Yes.
Could you repeat the question,
Hare
Prabhuji?
Krishna,
Like,
Prabhu.
Yeah, my question is the third Prameya that we are discussing is Satyam Jagat. Material, this world is real. So why this topic has even come up, that this world is real or not real? How does it matter for us? How is it relevant to us at this point? Yes, please, one by one, you all can start.
I'm not sure about this, but can the reason be that if Bhagwan is the Karta of this Jagat and he is Satya, then this Jagat has to be said as Satya. Like it has to
Okay.
be established.
Yeah, that is one point. Good. Anything else?
And also, Bhagwan comes in this Jagat. So that can also be a point.
That can also be one reason. Yes, others can try any other reason.
there are multiple actual reasons why this is relevant to us. Like many will speak of other relevance. Let me speak of some different one, which is a very basic one for all the masses. basically, if someone thinks that this is asatya, Jagat is asatya, they can get a free ticket to do anything. Like they will not live this life as per the Shastra.
Hmm.
And that's why it's necessary to establish that this Jagat is Satya and the consequences are also Satya.
Very good point. 16th chapter. Asatyam apratishtham te jagadavur anishwaram. This asatyam is actually an attack on Mayavadis. Yes. Any other point?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, all these are valid points. Just one more point there on that. I think in this way that if we say uh, Jagat is asatya, then we cannot uh, serve Lord because
Hmm.
we know we don't any connection with the Lord. We cannot. We don't have any choice than to renounce it if we want to get. Uh, so it is then it becomes like matlab, it is an opportunity. It's just one option that we have to renounce. Other, but we are devotee. What we understand that whatever in this world we have to use in it right proper attitude that it is of Lord. So we cannot we can say uh, misutilize it or exploit it. We have to use it in the service of Lord. So
Yeah, yeah.
this is the basic principle of bhakti.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's also a good point. First thing is that we cannot connect with the Lord because first Mataji said that Lord comes to this world. So, and it's the creation of Lord. So, how can this world be connected to the Lord? We cannot establish a connection. Second problem, how does it matter to us? As mentioned, that we will arrive at bizarre consequences, that conclusions, that we have to reject this world for now. We have to reject every element of this world. Then the third problem with that is we cannot establish a connection with God, saying that what I will offer to you today, I can offer flowers to you, I can offer fruits to you, I can offer grains to you, I can offer clothes to you. When you understand everything is asatyam, everything is mithya, then what more, what is left to be offered to the Lord? So the connection with the Lord is not built. Now these are major problems with the impersonalist philosophy or the Mayavada philosophy, that makes them conclude that the world is asatya. Means they come from the neti neti philosophy. Neti neti means wife is a problem, son is a problem, husband is a problem, father is a problem, mother is a problem, friend is a problem, countryman is a problem, somebody has taken loan, he is a problem, something else, the weather is a problem, the water is a problem, food is a problem, so many things are problem. If we start rejecting them, if we start developing detachment from them, ultimately what is left? When everything is nothing, no, eventually body also no, everything no, then what is left? Then there is only one satyam jnanam anantam brahma. So it comes from frustration with the material world. It doesn't come from the actual jnana, it doesn't come from knowledge of the absolute. The philosophy is arrived at uh, as a consequence of frustration with the material world. So that is where the problem is. Generally what happens is, let's say you are in a village, one old woman is coming from work in the evening. She has done field work and come, suddenly she comes to her house, opens the door and she screams loudly. So what happens? Everyone come running that she is screaming. What happens? She said, look, there is a snake. Now these people bring a torch and they see in the torch. What they see? Oh, Amma, it was just a rope. It was not a snake. You got confused. Then she said, oh, sorry, I had to trouble all of you. Then I'll go inside. Why? It was just a rope that was fallen there. Now, similarly, Mayavadis, what they say is that this world is a superimposition on the Brahman. We have got confused, just like for a few moments the woman had superimposed a snake on a rope, and that way she got afraid. All the emotions manifest in her: the emotion of fear, the emotion of screaming, shouting, the fear of losing life, everything got manifested in one moment of superimposing a snake on a rope. But when the torch came, the knowledge, real knowledge came, then she understood it is just a rope and the fear vanished. Similarly, we develop fear, we develop love, we develop happiness, we develop distress. We manifest so many emotions on uh, getting in contact with the material objects. Now, all these emotions are manifested just because of this superimposition on Brahman. Actually, when real knowledge develops, then you understand, oh, it is just Brahman. Sarvam khalu idam Brahman. Idam sarvam Brahman khalu. Oh, it was just Brahman, that's all. I got confused as this. So, that is the philosophy of Shankaracharya. That is the philosophy of Mayavada. Now, there are some serious problems with that. What is the serious problem with that is that you get confused that rope is a snake. Correct? That means the snake has been superimposed on the rope. Correct? But before that, rope has been superimposed on Brahman. So what is getting superimposed? Is it double superimposition that has happened on it? Brahman got confused as rope. Rope got further confused as snake. So is it that Brahman that was confused as snake? So you cannot explain that. Then that means that the rope getting confused as snake is a wrong thing. It has not happened actually, because that is also illusion. So this is a logical fallacy to explain it this way. Okay. And the second thing is that how can something be imposed on Brahman? So the point that they put is it's not imposed on Brahman, it's just Vyavaharika. In our dealings, we have just, it's our illusion. But then if our illusion, who are we? If we are Brahman, then that means Brahman has come under illusion. So then there is a problem with that. That means Brahman can come under illusion. Brahman Nirgunatvam vanishes. It has some gunas. It gets some gunas. So it becomes too difficult to explain. There are many complicated fights between the two schools. I will not get into too much detail about the two complications, but there are serious logical fallacies with this impersonal understanding that it cannot explain these things. Okay, so that is why very simple logic. What is your experience? So our experience is that Pratyaksha is a pramana or no? Pratyaksha is definitely a pramana. Otherwise, we would have rejected it. Pratyaksha, we see so many things. If this all is illusion, then Pratyaksha is not a pramana anymore. Then there is only Shabda that is a pramana. But in reality, we do accept Pratyaksha. When I say, where is the pen? I had kept it here only. I saw it here today morning. When he say, I saw it today morning, that is a pramana in itself. Oh, yes, yes, he has seen. So, if Pratyaksha is a pramana and our experience says these things are there, that means that are real. They are real things that are coming in front of us. So, this reality of the world is to be understood properly. Otherwise, what happens is that we will always not develop attachment to God. We will not be able to offer something to a personal God because everything eventually becomes unreal. So, what is the use? What is the use of putting effort to say, serve God? What is the use of putting effort to please Him? What is the use of going into the garden and plucking fall flowers, or before that, growing the garden itself? What is the use of doing all this? And one day it has to become Naiti Naiti. So, the Satyam Jagat Tattvam is very important to understand. Otherwise, we will not be developing that relationship with God. Okay. Yes. Now, please let me know this introduction that I have given. There are some more points which are to be discussed with regards to this, which we'll be doing in the next class. Please tell me about this introduction or about the previous topic. Are there any questions?
Prabhuji, I would just like to add on this. Like, I had this thought, and please confirm if the writings address this. So, also, do they make a difference between the Saguna Brahman and like us? Because if we say on their point, even the Saguna Brahman, that is Krishna or Rama or any avatar of Bhagwan, which is Saguna, So that Brahman is also undergone Maya for them, and we have also we for them we are Brahman. We have also undergone Maya for them. So is doesn't that make an indifference between the Saguna Brahman and us too?
Yeah, so what they say is there are some souls, even among us, who are Jivan Muktas, who are Muktas staying here in this world only. So some souls are like that. So now this absolute truth, Krishna, Rama, the different avatars, they are always in a Mukta state. So it is the absolute. So that is how they try to explain it.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Uh, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
True. Is that also? I have heard. I think that they are covered by the potency of you can say sattva guna or vidya potency, and jiva are covered by the potency avidya or rajoguna and tamaguna.
Yeah, different ways they
That's
try to explain. Actually, even among them, there is no consistency. Different schools explain this point in a different.
okay.
So yes, some do explain that it is more Sattva and more Sattvic.
So as per them, Jivan Mukta and Lord Ramchandra and Krishna are same at the same category level. Those
Some
who
believe that.
say that
Some say that even among Jivan Mukta, they are eternally Jivan Muktas, whereas Jivan Muktas have become through sadhana. So some say like that also.
okay.
Okay. Anything else to add? Okay. Was this understandable?
Prabhu,
This section?
Prabhu, just want to understand. Uh, in real experience, can a thing cannot be doubly superimposed in real
How can it
life?
be? We have not
Uh,
seen any such things in our real life.
uh,
That we get confused rope by sorry, that silver shell as silver and silver as something else. We have not seen something uh, experiencing in our life like that.
like Prabhu, we see a dream,
Mhm.
and in dream we are. Actually I didn't don't see much, but can in dream we see another dream that I'm sleeping and I'm seeing a dream in that sense, or since I'm dreaming dream, and further it is also told, of course it is told in temporary sense, that we are also living uh, in dream. मतलब ना, sometimes it is described that we are presently in dream condition.
Mm.
So in that sense, of course we say in for temporary sense forward, but
So
still it is double dream.
the concept of dream I will be discussing in the next section. So why Bhagavatam describes material world or universe as a dream? Is it a superimposition? That we will discuss. Actually speaking, dreams are also real. So Vedanta school believes that dreams are also real. So what that is, how it is, and all we will be discussing in the next section.
Then true about magic. Is it also, I think, second time we
Sorry,
can have superimposition magic. Those who say magic, so I think it is not second time superimposition.
how can magic be second-time superimposition? You show a stone and suddenly a parrot comes out and starts flying. Pigeon comes out and starts flying. So it is a single illusion. That stone was thought to be a pigeon. Suddenly came out of stone. That's what they thought.
No, but second time it also shows something by make that something else, na Prabhu.
No,
It is
that
not
was
only they.
another thing. See, it is not when a pigeon suddenly comes out from the hand of a magician and starts flying. It was just one object from which the pigeon came out. If that object came out of something else, then there was a relationship between those two objects. It was not that from first object the pigeon came, first to second, second to third, like that. There is a connection. So always there is a connection between only two objects, not the third one.
Yes, true. But I am thinking the same way this that when we say when these Advaitins say that when we give the Purpacha that first Brahman is Brahman gets some superimposed by the snake,
Rope,
no, sorry,
rope.
rope, and then rope is superimposed by snake in that
Yeah,
sense.
that is the point. So in our dealings, we have to come up with the detailed example. Madhacharya says that we don't have experience of such things of double imposition. So, uh, so we have to. I mean, at least I could not come up with example. I thought he is right. So we can see. We can discuss more examples. No problem.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Fine then. So if nothing else is there, your question was there about Brahma. What is that? Yajna karma samudbhava. So, what is the full shloka? Uh,
यज्ञात भक्त पर्जन्य पर्जन्याद अन्न संभव
भूतानि
अन्नाद भूतान.
अन्नसंभवा यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भवा. So what yajna karma samudbhava means? It means that if every person according to varna and ashrama is fixed to his prescribed duties, follows it sincerely, then automatically yajna takes place because a farmer is doing farming and growing grains, a cow herd is taking care of cows and that way milk is being supplied. Then somebody is constructing the temple and within the temple there is a kshatriya who is arranging funds and protection and a brahmana comes and does yajnas. Practically he does yajnas on the ground. So if everyone and his wife cooks and brings the cooked food for offering to the yajna, so if everyone sticks to their prescribed duties, then yajnas will automatically happen. So ultimately prescribed duties are the critical thing. Arjuna was thinking of not doing war. Now that prescribed duty he was neglecting, that is why yajna would stop. That is his argument.
Okay, Prabhu. So here it means that all type of activities when combined, all one ashrama activities combined, then it will become yajna.
Yes, then yajna will happen.
Okay, Prabhu. And this when this in fourth chapter, so many type of yajnas have been described. So that is also considered because there also, matlab, when we say we have to perform yajna, so is only dravya yajna because there are so many yajnas were described.
No,
Lord Krishna.
all the yajnas are
So
important. Even Brahma yajna is important. Everything is important. All the yajnas are. Why it says Jnana Yajna is topmost? A person, once he is situated in Jnana Yajna, he doesn't need others. But when he doesn't need others, doesn't mean he stops doing the others because he has to be a role model for society. He has to continue the system. So he doesn't stop doing others. That is why the fifth chapter came up. No?
yes, Prabhu.
Okay, anything else?
So
Before we wind up for
yes,
today.
Prabhu, some questions I have regarding this. Like when we say, because I always think in this way, we say that Vedas have four parts. I think Aranyaka, Upanishada, Brahmana, and Samhita. So are they divided for the four stages of our life, like Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyasa?
Generally, yes. Generally, Samitas are primarily referred by brahmacharis because they just have to memorize it. There is no karma doing; they just have to memorize it. Whereas the Grihastha Ashrama, they whatever they have memorized the Samitas, they will use it to perform rituals, and that how to perform rituals is given in the Brahmana section. Next is once you have sufficiently led your life performing rituals and all, eventually you have to retire from this, you have to develop detachment from this. The Vanaprastha Ashrama provides an opportunity to do this. What is that? To develop detachment. For that, Aranyaka is there. And eventually, this Upanishads are essential to develop Brahma Vidya or the knowledge of the absolute truth. So that is how generally these four stages are there. But That doesn't mean that they are not interconnected. Even if you see Vedas, it is not part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Within they are all mixed. Certain shlokas are Brahmanas, then suddenly Upanishad statements come. So they are all mixed within them.
So actually, my question was that why I asking this. So in traditional Gurukulas, when we say they were taught, or they are being taught present Vedas, so are they taught all the things, or are they taught only this Brahmana and Sanhita,
No, they are taught all the
Brahmachari?
things. Even Upanishad the memorization is there. Even Brahmana memorization is there. Samhita memorization is also there. But primarily Samhitas are more in number. And that is why the stress on Samhita memorization is more.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, so if something is there, let me know, else we'll close for today. Okay. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधु च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री गुरुदेव विद्याभूषण की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि
Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू